So after the development of the mesenchymal layer and the optic disc, right, take place anteriorly, then I will show you what is actually happening in the next, right. Just simply look, when the optic disc cover this part, right, and already the mesenchymal layer, right, take up to this one, as I previously show you. Now here lens placard, right, already invasignate inside the optic cup, and this is the mesenchymal superficial layer, right. So what is actually happening, this optic cup, basically optic vesicle, are developed into the retinal layer, right. And what actually happening when this part is developing into the retinal layer, right, and basically red part which I should draw, or previously I also depict it, right, they converted into the vascular part, right, and they formation into the entire structure on some part of the cornea, some part of the vascular structure, choroid, uveal tract, exactly, right. Now I just show you how optic vessels develop into the thin layer of retina. What actually happening here, just simply assume that when this, suppose this is actually eye, right, just assume it, this is a actual structure of eye. When light come from here, right, passing through the lens and fall into the retina, right, what actually happening inside the eye, how retina conceive all the light ray and send into the neural part, to just basically light is a electromagnetic form and they converted into the brain impulse, right. So basically here transinducer, retina play act like a transinducer, they convert one form of energy into the another form, right. So I will show you basically this outer part, right, this part of retina is converted into the outer layer, right, and this part is converted into inner layer, right, this part is converted into outer layer. So I will show you how it convert, and then after thin layer of retina I will show you how exactly the cornea and anterior chamber and the exactly how trabecular mesh works, Slem's line, Slem's Solvay line or canal, how it form, right. Just I show you here, I just rub it for the diagram purpose, right, how it looks like. Just assume, suppose this is the outer surface, right, just assume this is a outer surface, means a sclera, right, because this part is simply goes into this form, right, and this is optical vesicles, right. So I just assume here this is a outer part. So what it looks like, suppose if this is outer part, right, then this is a sclera. Now the part is the mesenchymal layer which is proliferate and form the choroidal body. It means here outer layer of retina is present. Now I draw you how actually the outer layer of retina looks like, right. Basically here this is a, just assume this is a photopigmented layer, right, this is a photopigmented layer. This is a photopigmented layer. Basically this is a epithelium layer, this is a sclera, and this is photopigmented epithelium layer. Now here rod and cone cell is present, right. Now here rod and cone cell is present. This is basically rod cell, and this is a nucleus of rod cell, and this is basically a spherule, right. Or you can say that synaptic terminal. Why? Because the entry, or when they are starting from here, right, and exit up to the here, means synaptic terminal, and the synaptic terminal of the rod cell basically we called it a spherule, and I just draw it here, cone cell, right, and the synaptic terminal of cone cell is called pedicle, right? If you are not put in this part basically in your mind long term, just grossly you can say that this is a basically synaptic terminal, right? This is a nucleus part of rod and cone cell. Now here I just also draw a cone cell or a rod cell, right? Just a rod cell. Right, and this is the nucleus of this layer. Okay, now here again cone cell. This is a nuclear layer, this is a pedicle, and if this is a rod cell, then this is a spherule, or commonly we also called synaptic terminal, right? Now here draw it. Now just for your clearance I just give you here another, right, rod cell which help us or which help you for understanding why I draw it extra. Just I further describe it. I just again use it here, right? And this is the nuclear part, right? This is the nucleus part, this is the nucleus part, right? Actually now what is happening, this is the outer layer photopigmented epithelium, this is a rod cell, and cone cell means photoreceptor cell. Now after this here is a bipolar cell, right? Now you may ask here what is a bipolar cell? Simply those cell which have two pole. Commonly we can say that the pole or the cell which have two pole. So suppose if the cell have two pole, I just draw it from black. Just assume the cell which have two pole, right? The cell which have two pole, right? Clear? Now this is bipolar cell. Now attach it further with the ganglion cell, right, which leads to the optic nerve. Now I draw it here a ganglion cell, right, from G or with green part. Now G, ganglion cell, and this ganglion cell now go outward direction, right? All this cell go into the outward direction. From here they go outward direction, and from here they also go outward direction, and I will show you what exactly happening here. This is a cell. Now why I attach this cell with two exactly the same thing, right? I just rub this part. Now this is enough for, I just draw the short picture and a zoom size picture just for your assumption what exactly happening inside the, because our senior ophthalmologist or various authority when they see from the ophthalmoscope they basically see the 10 structure layer of retina. So I try to show you all the 10 layer what actually they arranged inside the eye in a proper manner, right? So I just recall all these things up to this one, right? What is the actually diagram say? This is a scleral layer, this is a photopigmented epithelium layer, this is a rod and cone cell photoreceptor cell, this is a bipolar cell, and last one is the ganglion cell, right, which is a green part. When light coming from this part, right, they simply enter into the retina or fall into the retina, right? So this arrangement I think everybody is clear up to this, right? Now I give the next arrangement which is more complex for you, for your assumption, right? What is, how it take more complex? Just assume this layer is a retinal pigmented epithelium, this is bipolar cell, right, and this is a ganglion cell, right? Now I give you or show you here the rest of the layer and the rest of the cell, right? Why I draw it separately? I draw it separately just layer by layer to just for your assumption you can easily capture all this in what actually happening inside the eye. Now you may ask me here what is actually happening. Sometime the cone cell make a private line, means private line for the impulse conduction. So that's why in our eye cone cell are present in it. So what actually happen, one bipolar cell might be possibility they attach with two cell, two or more multiple number of cell with rod cell, but cone cell are always attached with the single bipolar cell, right? Now I will show you, just you tell me, if the arrangement of retina in this type, is it possible to capture the clear crisp vision? Actually this is a possible for clear crisp vision, but just assume when they are basically up to this diagram they perform in the unidirectional way. When the light come from, they start generate the gradient potential, right? Basically rod cell are gradient potential, bipolar cell are also gradient potential cell, but only ganglion cell are action potential cell. What does it mean? When the light come from, right, they strike this layer and this layer is start getting exhausted or getting excited, right? When the light fall from here, now they start creating the gradient potential, and after starting from here they simply transfer into the bipotential cell or bipolar cell. Why? Because they are connected with two and more than one rod type of rod cell, and the cone cell is only one connection with the bipolar cell. Now this cell is transmit the all gradient potential into the action potential. Why? Because action carry this information which receive the retina by the visual signal into the brain for further processing, right? So this is basically action potential, right? Or basically optic nerve is the axon of ganglion cell, right? Now what is happening here, after this is a radial communication. Now these cells are also communicate with each other. How? There are horizontal cells are present, right? There are horizontal cells are also present. I just write here horizontal cells are also present, right? For horizontal communication, if these cells are communicate with horizontally, right, with rod cell and cone cell and bipolar cell and rod cell, right, with horizontal communication, horizontal cell are present. Now at the same point here is also amacrine cell are present. Amacrine cell, what is the function of amacrine cell? They help the just communicate horizontally ganglion cell and bipolar cell, right? Basically this bipolar cell, this part is act like axon and this part is act like a dendrites, right? So they act like a talk to horizontally. Now when these cells are arranged in this form, right, up to this I think everybody is clear. So I just give you a gross idea what actually happening here. Just draw, this is also a layer, right? This is also a layer. Just tell me one thing, if the retina is present inside the eye in this form, it might be possibility they getting jumbled to each other. So for prevention from the jumble, right, there are another cell is present inside the eye which place or which help the rod cell to maintain own position. So here is a Muller cell is also present, and this Muller cell helps just use their cilia to put it remain on position, right, on position. If Muller cell is not present, it might be possibility this cell are getting collapsed, because this is very hard. Just assume now there are lots of wire are getting connected, and suppose this is a bulb, so might be possibility they are getting collapsed and getting fused, right? So here Muller cell help this cell basically maintain their position, right? After Muller cell, right, now I will show you this arrangement basically is happening here. So Muller cell not only help here to form the lamina layer, basically when the Muller cell coincide it here, right, or maintain or hold the entire rod or cone cell to just maintain own position, right? What is actually happening, they also they also here make a lamina, right, or basically limiting membrane, basically called it limiting membrane, right, or if they present outside then it is called outer limiting. And if this mammillary membrane also form the beyond the this layer, this is the axon of ganglion layer, beyond the axon ganglion layer they also form a layer which is called inner limiting membrane. Why they form limiting membrane? Basically board is I think getting filled, right, filled up, just assume it, I will show you, or next part I just reduce this picture and then I will show you what actually happening. Just look it here, this Muller cell also go beyond this axonal layer, right, and then form the a layer which protect the vitreous and axon layer complication, right, they maintain. Why vitreous is also a jelly like a structure, if they come inside eye, right, it might be possibility they getting jumbled with the retinal sensitive layer, so there is might be possibility there are obstruction in the transferring or carrying the message or impulse, right. So here they form a limiting membrane, right, and here they form this type of limiting membrane. One thing I just miss it here, here is also a barrier is present. Now you may ask why this is barrier is present. This barrier just simply help us to maintain this cell or pigmented epithelium cell to just play here a blood retinal barrier, right. Why? Because suppose this is a central part of retina, just assume here only cone present. Why? Because here is the sharpest visual acuity is perceived by the eye, right. So here simply from the choriocapillary, right, just I draw it here, suppose here simply ciliary arteries come and they provide the nutrition, right. So this nutrition by choriocapillary reach up to the cone cell basically. Now here this part helps to remain intact with this one and protect hair from the choriocapillary, or its play act as a blood retinal barrier, sorry, not a blood brain, basically blood retinal barrier. Now this part play also a significant role here. Here is also a matrix present, right, here is a matrix present. So suppose just assume this outer limiting membrane which is formed by the Muller cell of cilia, right, which hold the cell, right, they form a holder, like act like a holder, then they protect the matrix, basically the matrix of which is present inside the rod and cone cell, right, they maintain remain at a own position. So now I just give you the 10 layer how basically it act like. Just assume here this is a outer epithelium layer, right, I just give you what is the 10 layer exactly. Just think this is a outer epithelium layer, this is a first layer, right. Now the second layer is rod and cone cell. The third layer is basically this part which is formed by the Muller cell of cilia, means out limiting membrane, means third part is outer limiting membrane. Fourth part is basically the nucleus of rod and cone cell, right, and the fifth part which is formed by the synaptic terminal. The rod synaptic terminal is called as spherule and the cone synaptic terminal is called pedicle, right, and the junction basically it's act like a junction because horizontal cell is also combined here just for horizontal communication, and bipolar cell dendrites part is also combined here just for horizontal communication and radial communication. So this is basically form the fifth layer. Now I think up to everybody is clear up to the 5 layer. Now the rest of the layer, just simply assume this is the outer plexiform, right. After that basically here this is outer plexiform and this layer is inner plexiform. So here internuncial layer is also present, right, which communicate with this one, means eye cell, which also present. So now after this basically here the internuncial layer, nucleus of Muller cell, nucleus of bipolar cell and some amacrine cell are also present here, or some horizontal cell, means basically this is a nuclear layer, right. So this is a 6th layer, right, means inner nuncial layer, right? And the now the seventh one basically here inner plexiform layer, right? Inner plexiform layer. Now what about the 8-1? The basically 8-1 is the ganglion layer, right? Because this is the ganglion cell, so 8-1 is the inner ganglion layer. Basically ganglion layer is never called inner ganglion layer, simply ganglion layer. So this part is play, I just repeat it up to here 5, then it is 6, right? Then 7, then ganglion layer is 8, and 9 layer is the axon layer of the ganglion cell, and the next one is basically the inner limiting membrane, which is formed by the Muller cell, right? The second end of the Muller cell which cover the retina. So this is the basically 10 layer. Just I draw the all the picture in a one diagram, right, which helps you to recall. Just I give you, wait. What is happening here, if you are not or getting confused at that point, I just draw it separately here. Just assume this is a outer pigmented epithelium layer, right? This is a outer pigmented epithelium layer, right? Then after that here is the cell, rod and cone cell, right? This is rod and cone cell. So epithelium layer first, rod and cone cell layer second, then after Muller cell which hold all these cell separately, right? Not like this, Muller cell is present in between this one, right? So this part or Muller cell part is basically called outer limiting membrane, third. Fourth one, right, the cell of, right, fourth one, the cell of rod and cone cell, sorry, the nucleus of rod and cone cell, right? And this one is the Muller cell, right? So this is the nuclear cell, means basically outer nucleus membrane. Now fifth one, when the horizontal cell and bipolar cell and the synaptic terminal of rod and cone cell, basically pedicle and spherule, form the fifth layer, means up to this is the outer layer of retina, right? Now what about the next one? Simply the when the axonal layer and cell of bipolar cell, right, this is a bipolar cell nucleus, and amacrine cell, right, all these form the, up to this is the outer nucleus membrane. Now this form the inner nucleus layer, this form inner nucleus layer. Now here after this the ganglion cell are also present is here. Now simply called it, up to this is 6. Now this part is form the seventh layer, means ganglion cell layer, axon of ganglion cell, 7. Now this is axon of ganglion. After this is outer plexiform layer, right, 5th. Now 6th one is, just simply assume this is a inner plexiform layer, right? Now 8th one is the ganglion layer, 9th this is the axon of ganglion layer, right? And 10th one is the basically which is formed by the Muller cell of the other side of cilia, right, which form the inner limiting membrane, right? Just I draw it all this picture on the eye because it might be possibility you are getting confused here, right? What's actually happening, just assume it, I draw it, then I will show you how the anterior chamber is formed, right? Just assume it. This is eye, right, and this is a optic nerve, right? What actually happening, just think about that. Suppose, right, up to this everybody is clear. Dura matter when enter into the eye, they converted into the sclera, right? When the mesenchymal layer, upper mesenchymal layer differentiated into the sclera, and the inner is converted into the choroid or basically uveal body. So I draw it from red, right? So basically this is happening inside the eye, right? This choroid, up to this I think everybody is clear. Now I will show you what actually happening here. Now the outer layer of retina, right? This is a outer layer of retina, right? And after this there is up to this is inner layer of retina, right? And what is actually happening here, just assume it, the Muller cell make a protective layer, right? Inner limiting membrane, right? Just for protection of this part. Basically this is a vitreous part, because here is a lens is present, so vitreous is not get inside the retina and not hamper the function or structure of retina, so they act like is here. So after this, what is happening, when light is enter into here, the center part of retina is basically the private jet line with the cone cell, because the sharpest visual acuity is basically achieved by the central part, so they are the private jet line, right? And the rest one is the peripheral, basically cone cell. So number of cone cell is more in the peripheral part and the central part, so that's why I mentioned there on the retinal part, basically when the cone cell is aligned with the radial direction, so the cone cell have a single bipolar cell, and so that's why the rod cell have a multiple bipolar cell connected with the one bipolar cell, means bipolar cell connect two and multiple rod cell, but at the center only one bipolar cell is responsible for connect the single cone cell, right? So I think so up to this retinal part is clear.